Hi everyone, it's Jessie. So today I'm going to show you how to do this beautiful stitch of front post double crochet in the round. For this tutorial I am using I Love This cotton from Hobby Lobby and a 6mm J-hook. So the first thing we're going to do is make a magic ring. I do have a video that's a little bit slower pace if you are not sure how to do the magic ring, and I can link that here. So we are going to go ahead and yarn over our fingers, crisscross, bring that up and over. Okay, so we have our magic ring, and now we're going to chain 2. We have a chain 3, and that's going to count as our first double crochet. We're going to place 9 double crochets in this magic circle for a total of 10. This will count as our first double crochet. So go ahead and make those 9 double crochets into your magic circle and then meet me back here. Okay, now we have 10 double crochets, and remember that chain 3 counted as our first double crochet. And we're going to close up our magic circle. And now we're going to slip stitch to the top of our chain 3. There's 1, 2, and 3. So we'll slip stitch there. Now we're going to chain 3. And we're going to do a front post double crochet around the post that's directly under the chain 3. So yarn over, go behind that post, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2 more. So that will count as 2 front post double crochets. And then in the next one we're going to do 2 front post double crochets. There's 1, and 2, and then we'll do the same into the next one. And what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 front post double crochets around each post. So go ahead and do 2 front post double crochets around each of these double crochet posts, and then when you're done with that, meet me back here. Okay, so I first wanted to mention, if you have never done a front post double crochet, I do have a video on how to do that, so I will link that up here and in the description below. So at the end of our round 2 here, we should have a total of 20 stitches. So go ahead and count those V's all the way around and count the top of that chain 3. You'll want 20. What we're doing is we're going to increase each round by 10. So we started off with 10 stitches, and we're increasing each round as we go along by 10. So now we're going to slip stitch into the top of that chain 3. So for row 3, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to front post double crochet into the post right below it. And then we'll do 2 front post double crochets into the next stitch. And into the next stitch we'll do 1 front post double crochet. Now as you can tell, in the previous row we did 2 front post double crochets into the same stitch. So what you'll want to do is just kind of separate the 2. You don't want to go around both of them. You want to separate it a little bit and go around that first one here. So again, we're doing 1 around this post. And then in the next one we're going to do 2. And then we'll do 1 and 2 front post double crochets. So that's what you're going to do all the way around for row 3 here. So you'll go do 1 front post double crochet, 2 front post double crochet, 1 front post double crochet, and then 2. And keep doing that until you get to the end of the row and meet me back here. Okay, so at the end of row 3 here, you should have a total of 30 stitches. And then we're going to slip stitch into the top of our first chain of the row here. Okay, for row 4, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to front post double crochet directly below. Now, this is where we started the last row, and it almost looks like 2 double crochets, but really it's 1. So you don't want to split this one up. We're going to go around the whole thing. So we'll yarn over, go behind that post, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then we're going to do 1 front post double crochet into the next stitch. And 2 front post double crochets into the next. And then 1 front post double crochet, and then the next one will be 1 front post double crochet, and then 2 front post double crochet into the next. So you'll do this all the way around. So in the next stitch, you're going to do 1 front post double crochet, then 1 front post double crochet, and then 2 front post double crochets into the next, 1 front post double crochet, 1 front post double crochet, and then 2 into the next. So continue that pattern all the way around and meet me back here. Okay, so at the end of row 4 here, you should have a total of 40 stitches. And we are going to do a slip stitch to join our round. And for row 5, we're going to chain 1. And again, we're going to go do a front post double crochet around just below it. And again, we're going to crochet around these here. It looks like 2, but it's really 1. This was our chain 1 from the previous round. So we will do our front post double crochet around that, and then we'll do 1 front post double crochet into the next, and 1 front post double crochet into the next one, and now we're going to do 2 front post double crochets. One front post double crochet into the next, and then another front post double crochet, another front post double crochet, and then we'll do 2 front post double crochets. So you'll continue that pattern all the way around row 5. So you'll do a front post double crochet, front post double crochet, front post double crochet, and then 2 front post double crochet, front post, front post, front post, 2 front post double crochet. So continue that pattern all the way around and then meet me back here. At the end of row 5 here, you should have a total of 50 stitches, and then we're going to slip stitch into this first stitch here. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of a visual here on how the rows are going to look going forward. So these V's that I have in here, represent 2 front post double crochets into the same stitch. And then when I have a 1, that represents 1 front post double crochet. We started off with our 10 stitches, and then in the second round what we did was we did 2 front post double crochets around each post. Row 3, we did 1 front post double crochet. That's what we started off with. Like all the rounds going forward, that's how you're going to start, with 1 front post double crochet. So row 3, we did 1 front post double crochet, 2 front post double crochet around the same post, then 1 and then 2. Row 4, we started off with the 1 front post double crochet. We did another one. Then we did 2 around the next post, and then 1, 1, and 2. Row 5, we started off with 1 front post double crochet, 1 front post double crochet, 1, and then 2 into the next. Now when you go to row 6, you're going to first do 4 front post double crochets before you do 2 front post double crochets around the same stitch. So you can see a pattern here. So if you look closely, you can see that each row going forward, you're increasing the amount of front post double crochets before you get to the 2 front post double crochets around the same stitch. So in row 3 here, we did 1 before we got to that 2. In row 4, we did 2 before we got there. 5, 3, row 6, 4. So there's a little bit of a pattern. So I hope that helps. It's a little bit hard to see on this lighter yarn, but you can kind of see where we increased the row where we placed 2 double crochets. There's a little bit of a spiral going on here. So let me see if you can see it better on my blue one here. Yeah, with the darker yarn you can see it more. So you see those little spirals going around? The more rounds that you make, the longer those will become, and it turns out to be this beautiful spiral. This is what the back looks like. If you'd like to see this stitch worked up into a project, be sure to check out Shannon Talks Yarn. She made some beautiful, beautiful seat covers for some stools in her kitchen. I will link her video here and in the description below if you'd want to check that out. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this video was helpful, please give it a like below, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care.